homeless need to go to shelters, the long-term mentally ill need to go to institutions, and the unhoused drug addicts need to go to rehab, or if necessary, an appropriate jail. They've taken over our cities, so many of our cities. It's at a level that nobody can even believe. But wherever they go, surrendering our parks and sidewalks to people that in many cases are crazed or sick, it's just not an option. Look, we have a problem. This is a big problem. How do you handle these hundreds of thousands of people getting worse all the time? Hundreds of thousands. It would take years to build hospitals and housing facilities to take care of them, okay? Let's put that out. I did very well in the real estate business. It takes a long time to build houses and housing, years and years. Right now, they're putting homeless in super luxury hotels, the best hotels in the world, paying more money than they're charging for wealthy people who would have usually stayed there. They get paying more money, thousands and thousands of dollars a night. And even at that, the owners of the hotels are unhappy because wealthy people aren't staying there anymore. They don't want to stay there. With all of that, they don't want to stay there. I fought very hard and very successfully in stopping tents being built on D.C. public property. Very hard. Every time I drive through the streets of our beautiful D.C. with the most beautiful monuments, everything's so beautiful, and then I'd see a cluster of tents and others, and I'd see it happening. I'd send people out immediately. Secret Service, by the way, did a phenomenal job. I'd send people out immediately to get rid of those tents before you know, when you have 5 or 6 or 8, but when you have hundreds of them and even thousands of them, very hard to do it. It becomes too late. But coming in today, for the first time since I left Washington, D.C., it is not recognizable what's happened. What's happened. They have tents with homeless and others all over. I think the most beautiful public spaces anywhere in the world. I don't care. I could look at canyons. I could look at oceans. I think the most beautiful public spaces in the world. They don't look beautiful now. Who is going to want to come to Washington, D.C., and perhaps even more importantly, when a foreign leader comes and they have meetings here, it leaves such a bad impression. They go home and say, what kind of a country has the United States turned into? And you don't think that gets around? You have to see what I saw today coming in. The streets were dirty. They were littered with papers. Main highway, main roads coming in. The main roads that we all take. They had more bottles and cigarettes and everything you could imagine. Paper of all kinds, from all places, lying along the roads. That's without the tents. And then you look at the tents and the homeless, and you say, what's happening to this great bastion? Perhaps some people will not like hearing this, but the only way you're going to remove the hundreds of thousands of people, and maybe throughout our nation, millions of people we're talking about, and help make our cities clean, safe, and beautiful again, is to open up large parcels of inexpensive land in the outer reaches of the cities, bring medical professionals, including doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, drug rehab specialists, build permanent bathrooms and other facilities, make them good, make them hard, but build them fast, and create thousands and thousands of high-quality tents, which can be done in one day. And you have to move people out. Now, some people say, oh, that's so horrible. No, what's horrible is what's happening now. Because now they're in tents, but most of them aren't even tents that function. But we have to do it because you can put up a tent in one day. It would be 2 years, 3 years, long time if you're going to build housing that would take care of the kind of numbers that we're talking. We're talking about hundreds of thousands and probably millions of people. It will be the ambition of these people and all of us to get their life back on track, leave the tent city, and be back into the mainstream of society, which is where they want to be. It's a great thing. Now, the media will go out and say, oh, Trump wants to build tents. No, no. I want to take care of the people, because nothing could be as bad as what's happening to them right now. And at the same time, I want to save our cities, because you're going to have a time when nobody will be here anymore. Nobody will come here. Nobody will come to New York, or Chicago, Los Angeles, or any of our cities to build millions of units of housing or hold homeless people